Amigos, amigos.
Well, hello and welcome everyone from SeaWorld Sports. It's such an honor to be here. I'm sorry I couldn't be here a week ago when the U.S. played Paraguay. I was actually at the Fan Fest. You can watch that blog on Emociones Mundialistas, but I was at the Fan Fest enjoying the first World Cup match for the United States of America. And man, the national anthems just played, and it made me emotional. It was such a proud moment. As someone that came here to the United States as a kid, has been watching the sport grow and I just heard the whole stadium sing the national anthem. Makes me really happy because it's something that means a lot in the World Cup. It's a special moment the players, fans, coaches, staff, everyone gets to experience. And when you sing the national anthem, it's 10 times better. And the fans sang the national anthem. They did their job, and man, that made me really, really happy. I had to turn it up and put my ear to the TV to double check that they were actually singing the national anthem, and they were. And man, that makes me so happy. Something that I've been dreaming of, and I experienced it at the Fan Fest, the fans singing the national anthem. And well, now it happened at a World Cup game at the World Cup venue. And well, let's just get ready. It's the United States facing the national team of Australia, the Socceroos. The Socceroos who come here with a win, a clutch victory over Turkey. And so let's go with the starting 11. Let's go with the visiting team, Beach at goal. What a game did Beach have against Turkey. Incredible. Patrick Beach, the 22-year-old, stunning. Italiano, Circadi, Sutar, Burgess, and Boz. And the defense for Australia. In the midfield, there's Lecky, O'Neill, Okan Exler, and Vili Pillay. And up front, Toure, the lone striker for the national team of Australia, who are looking for a World Cup win again and to get themselves on the next round. Well, I mean, you're saying World Cup, I'm not even supposed to say it. This international tournament. We're just going to leave it as that. For the United States, Freeze repeats at goal. The defense, Freeman, Richards, Ream, and Robinson. Nothing really changes there. Midfield with Tillman, Adams, and McKinney. And the change goes here. No Christian Pulisic. He's not on the bench today. He's not available to play. He's not in the starting lineup either. He is hurt. He is out with a calf injury. And man, I really want to hold a Paraguayan player by the neck because that made me really mad that now Christian Pulisic gets to miss this match because he is hurt. Well, no Christian Pulisic, but Pepe is the one that takes over his spot alongside Balogun and Dez. What's up, Junior? How are you, big boy? Junior has been here even before the stream even started. The countdown has begun in Seattle, the home of the Seahawks and the Seattle Sounders. And this game is officially underway. 90 minutes and 4 quarters full of emotions of this beautiful sport that's football. The United States in their home kit, the white shirt with the red stripes, dark blue shorts and white socks. Australia, all yellow today. And the U.S. fans quickly start their USA chant. Oh, and Chris Richards loses the ball, a dangerous spot. Here's the first shot, and Freeze has made his first save of the game. Matt Freeze from NYCFC, who earned that spot. A bad turnover in the back for the United States as Ream was trying to play it over to Richards, and a misunderstanding between them two nearly costing the United States an early gift, an early goal. And Australia will be dreaming of that opportunity that just slipped away. When I was saying the USA fans are just concluding the USA chant, kind of like, you know, how Iceland in 2018 had us rocking the Viking chant, or the famous goal from the Minnesota Vikings. Well, that's the chant that they do. Australia, as I've mentioned, they got a crucial first game win against Turkey in Canada. BC plays 2-0 their victory against Turkey, and a quite stunner, one of the first stunners of this World Cup. No one expected them to win that game, and if we go to the stats, they only had 28% of possession and probably only had the ball in the opponent's half for like 20 seconds. That's how that game went for Australia. But in total, they actually racked up 9 shots, 4 on target, 2 of them on goal. They hanged on for dear life for the whole game, seeing 30 shots from Turkey, but they lacked accuracy, only 8 on target. For the national team of Turkey, the goals were scored by Irankunda and Metcalf in the 27th and 75th minute, while the United States a 4-1 victory against Paraguay, in which Balogun scored a brace. USA, Christian Pulisic and Weston McKennie forced a no-goal, and then at the very end, Gio Reyna scored a stunner of a goal. Goal kick for Australia. Fans were not happy as there was a cross from the Jedi Robinson on the left-hand side. It was blocked. And then it hit off his shin for an Australian goal kick. Again, Christian Pulisic not available today for the United States of America due to a calf injury that he picked up. And here comes the United States attacking. And then a push on the back from Weston McKennie on the Australian player. Gets called a foul. And Australia quickly placed it over to the left-hand side. Over there was Leckie. Ball goes out of play for a United States throw-in. You know, if Junior's still here, I see he's still commenting. What's up, Junior? Make sure you get Georgie in the stream too. Make sure you get Georgie to say hi. So Georgie to drop by. Here's Robinson. Lays the ball over to Tillman. He had a heck of a game against Paraguay. His goal didn't come. He lacks accuracy right in front of goal, just like his brother Timothy Tillman. Which you talked to me about Timothy Tillman. I did not like him at all with LAFC. But Malik had a fabulous game with the United States, actually racking a 7.9, had an assist in that game. Obviously, as I mentioned, Balogun was the player of the game with 2 goals, getting an 8.8 rating on FootMob. Here's McKennie on the right-hand side. Place it back over to the middle lane where Adams has it. Adams will retreat it with Chris Richards. From Crystal Palace, Chris Richards won the UEFA Conference. Here's McKennie, nice cross, looking inside, the ball falls loose inside of the 18. Now Jenny Robinson is gonna put it back in there, and then the referee calls a foul, a late whistle. And that play is over. A great crossover from McKennie, nearly found the head of Balogun. Instead, the guy that got there was Pepe. And then Pepe couldn't hammer it home. Ended up falling to Jedi Robinson, who put it back in the mix. And then the shot went wide. Richards again unable to get the ball. Australia really quick on the pressure, and then Chris Richards does a fabulous job on getting the ball back. But Australia wins it back quickly, and Touré is trying to get in front of the defender Freeman and doesn't get to do that. Freeman eventually beat Toure to the ball. We have throw in here for the Socceroos, who play quickly. The referee does not allow them to play that throw in quick. We are in Seattle, Washington. And here comes Australia trying to attack on that left-hand side. Freeman takes the ball from him and clears it away. Håkan Engstler has to play it back a little bit dangerously, but able to get there was Sutar to play it back to Beach, who again, as I mentioned, Beach, heck of a game against Turkey. United States back on the ball. Around this time, they had scored the first goal at SoFi Stadium, or Los Angeles Stadium, where they play their first game and will play their last game against Turkey. Hard challenge here on Adams, and the referee has to go talk over to Leckie, who was the one that committed this foul. Adams in pain. Will surely get up, and as they put the replay for me, I mean, that's a harsh challenge. Adams had won the ball first, and Leckie is just late to the ball. Adams went down. Thankfully, nothing too serious. Of course, we saw a terrible injury at the game between Canada and Qatar. Ismail Kone going out due to an injury, a fracture on the fibula. Just an unfortunate injury that he picked up. Here's Jedi Robinson. Chris Richards on the ball, and the fans chanting USA, USA. Been waiting for this game. As much as I was waiting for the Mexico-Korea game, and they disappointed me. Here comes the United States attacking on the right-hand side with McKennie. McKennie cutting it back. Place it central over to Adams. Adams back to Freeman. Freeman out wide to Dest. Dest to McKennie. McKennie back to Dest. Dest inside of the box. Fires it, blocked. And it's one back here by Freeman. As Australia couldn't clear it out. He's going to slow it down and play it back to Richards. And the fans applaud. Here's Jedi Robinson. The United States and Australia only have one game played between each other, and that was in October 14 of 2025. So last year, in a 2-1 U.S. victory and a friendly that was played at Dick's Sporting Goods Park. Haji Wright scored a brace. He turned the game around after Boss had scored in the 19th minute. Here comes the U.S. with Adams. Dest place it all the way back with Freeman. Now McKennie. Freeman. You know, this is the luxury that the United States has. Though they don't have Christian Pulisic, you got multiple Christian Pulisics. The U.S., in my opinion, it's not a one player that they depend on one player. They depend on every single player because every single player has the same talent as Christian Pulisic. Of course, Pulisic is the main guy, but I mean, you got Weston McKennie, you got Dest that's doing the work, you got Freeman as a right back that's been going in the attack, doing the work as equally. You know, they're just a really stacked team. Here's this ball played forward to Balogun, who's going to get to it. He can play it across Balogun to the byline. It's in! It's another own goal! Folarin Balogun forces it, and the United States strike first! And pandemonium in Seattle. The U.S. goes up a goal. And just like in LA, it's a known goal that gets the crowd going. And it's a known goal forced from the left-hand side, and we'll get a replay of Jedi Robinson's pass to Balogun, who beats Italiano on that left-hand side. And Balogun got to the byline, nearly entering the 6-yard box, played it across to the lucky foot of Burgess. If I'm not mistaken, yes it is. The lucky left foot of Burgess that puts it in the back of his own net. It's a known goal once again. And the U.S. has a 1-0 lead. Just like in LA, where Weston McKennie's pass forced an own goal, it was now Balogun who had 2 forces an own goal. Australia trying to respond over here on this side with Italiano. Place it to Toure. Toure at the edge of the box. Place it in the middle. Here's a chance to equalize it. Oh my goodness, that shot went wide. It was Lecky who hit it. A first touch shot with his right foot. And I don't even know if that ball kissed the post. No, it didn't, but man, it looked in for a quick second. And I still have to, to add the own goal to the banners here. Cameron Burgess, another American hero. And a 1-0 lead for the United States. They're playing a lot better, and the Australia ends up giving the ball over in the middle of the field. Here's Balogun playing it over Adams. Here's the pass deflected, and it's going to go out wide for a corner kick. The fans applaud. Burgess joins Bobadilla, an American hero, scoring own goals. The U.S. has scored 5 goals in this World Cup. 2 of them have been own goals. And here comes a corner kick from the left-hand side. The referee, Felix Zweier from Germany, having a quick chat with Chris Richards and Engstler. Alcon Engstler. And Tillman in charge of sending this ball in the mix. 14 minutes. Here's the cross. Into the middle, the header. It's blocked. It's still alive inside of the box. It's played back, but there's a handball. And this one won't count anymore. Pardon me, I had to get a quick drink of water. And McKennie's header, well, oh yeah, the handball comes after McKennie's header is blocked from the Australia player, and then it ricochets back into McKennie's hand, and that's why the referee had stopped it for a handball. Richards on it. Likes to run again. Freeman. Adams, Dest, looking for Balogun, who shields the ball really well, but at the end, Burgess covered him well. Australia with Toure on the ball. Taken away perfectly by Richards. And then Adams goes down right in front of the U.S. bench. That's a foul. Pochettino going over to talk to Katia Itzel, who is the 4th assistant in today's game, the Mexican referee. I see Pochettino right now. I got to give him credit, as I've been hearing him talk about the mentality of the U.S. I mean, he doesn't lie. I mean, U.S. sports has no promotion relegation. Really, the losers don't get punished, really. We only pay a fine. And him talking about changing the mentality, it's incredible. Because he has truly, I've seen a key change of mentality in this U.S. team. From 4 years ago in Qatar to this year, the U.S. plays every single game like it's its last. The mentality has changed, knowing that if they lose, there's no reward. The reward is that you may be out of this tournament. If you win, you keep going. And I've been loving this mentality that Pochettino has put in the American players. There was a foul on Weston McKennie that I didn't mention. They stopped his run, and it was a yellow card shown. I'll have to confirm that player that was shown the yellow card. As Weston McKennie took a finger to the nose. 17 minutes. It's Robinson making a run on the sideline. Here's the cross, and then a shot from Weston McKennie on a ball that was way behind him. He was able to get his foot to it, and the ball went out over the bar. A goal kick. Let's see the comments. Georgie's in the house too. What's up, Georgie? And Australia turns the ball over at a dangerous spot. Here's the cross. Back post. No one there. Australia now try to clear it. It's going to be hard trying to play the same way they play against Turkey, against this United States team. And Junior says, I think America, the U.S., is going to win. I believe so, too. There's Ray trying to get out, and then a foul from Adams on McKennie. And then O'Neal tried to force the yellow card on McKennie as McKennie stepped over the ball, and then O'Neal quickly went to kick the ball. So it would hit McKennie. The referee is not going to fall for it. And McKennie just talking to O'Neal and saying, like, hey, come on, man. You could have also hurt me. You went in so hard to kick the ball. You could have kicked me instead and broke me. Ocon Angsler goes down, and it seems like he's just turned the ball over, throw in for the United States. Got up thinking that they were going to call a foul against the U.S., but no. The United States in their group, Group D, with Turkey and Paraguay, which that game will be the last of today at 8 o'clock. Turkey and Paraguay will be played in San Francisco later today to finish Group D. A victory will pretty much seal the group for the United States and put them in the next round. Freeman on the ball. Chips it over. This is McKennie. McKennie plays it back to Freeman. Freeman looking for options. Got McKennie. McKennie's going to play it backwards. Adams to Richards. Ream now on it. Ream sees the run of McKennie. Doesn't send a good pass, but eventually it's going to fall to Des. And he plays it to McKennie. McKennie unable to get it. And then the clearance goes straight to Des, who's still on the ball inside of the box. Plays it back, and Australia wins the ball right back. Burgess clears it to Ray, trying to race over and freezes out of his box and clears that ball way out of danger. To Ray, got to give him credit for the effort that he put to race down, beat Richards, and eventually get to Turner. To Freeze, pardon me, Matt Freeze. Throwing for the United States, that's Jedi Robinson. Is able to hit that ball out of the foot of an Australian player. And here's Chris Richards. The U.S. in their own defensive half. Lays it right to Freeman. Right next to him. Richards back on the ball. Scott Adams turns around looking for options. Plays it out wide to Robinson. Hard challenge on Pepe. One foul call, says the referee, as the United States still has the ball. And here's the long over to Balogun, who brings it down. But not great control from Folarin Balogun, who could have had his first goal of the game. Credit to Beach, who came out and stayed with the ball. And then Australia turns it on. Balogun on it. Balogun fires it, blocked. My goodness. That's another turnover from Australia, who now come on the counter on the right-hand side with Italiano. Italiano on it. Play it back. Right here with O'Neal. Scott Engstler. Engstler out wide. Robinson to cut. Does so well as the U.S. wins the ball back. Tillman clears the ball, and this will get to Beach, who's halfway out of his box. Australia back on the ball with Italiano. And no, he's not Italian. O'Neal. And the fans trying to cheer the U.S. on to win this ball back. As Australia starts moving the ball in the U.S. half. With lack of idea, here's Toure. Plays it perfectly over to Leckie. And Leckie wants to send this cross, and he does so! And a good clearance there from Freeman, who got his foot and beats Vela-Pelé to the ball and clears it out for a corner kick. It was a good cross from Leckie, a dangerous one that if Vela-Pelé got to it first, we're talking about a 1-1 draw in this game. Of course, Tony Popovich cannot believe the chance that they just missed. Freeman is the man covering the tallest player, Sutar. It's going to be an in swinger. Corner kick still not taken. Now it's taken. And here's the header. And the ball's still loose in the box. And it goes out for another Australia corner kick. Burgess looking for redemption. Couldn't get to it. And Suter was the one who ended up getting the ball. And Kenny just lucky that Burgess doesn't get his foot first. If Burgess extends his foot before McKinney does, we're talking about a penalty. And we saw that in the Croatia and England game. Here's the in-swinger. And there's a foul on Matt Freese, who's able to sell it well. And they had him trapped. The referee saw it. And then eventually ends the first quarter of football. Well, the most criticized thing about this international tournament has been the hydration breaks, and the fans are not happy. As there was a loud boo from the American fans, and I say the Australian fans too, as both teams are headed to the hydration break. Obviously, this is used for commercials. Many people have criticized Fox that they literally cut the game to go to a couple of commercials. Many people are tuning into Telemundo, or the ones that don't show commercials during the hydration break. Now they do show, like, at the very bottom they show, like, a Coca-Cola commercial. It's just at the very bottom. It's like a banner, but you can still see the players, the coaches talking, the fans having a good time on the stands. And right now in Seattle, Washington, 74 degrees. It's not hot, really. Really nice weather, but at noon for the players, it may feel hot. The U.S. leads this game, all thanks to the Australian defender Burgess, who scored an own goal. And just like it was in L.A., with Bobadillo scoring an own goal, giving the U.S. the lead. And now it's Burgess. I have to specify it. Burgess own goal. Right here on the banner, so you guys don't think that Burgess is some American guy. Pochettino talking to his team. He became a meme right before the tournament started, because during one of the hydration breaks in Chicago, in the last game against Germany, he huddled the team over on his Mac Pro book, and literally opened his Mac and they started talking about the game. I don't know if he was showing the players some film or going over some place like he wanted to run, but he became a meme. Chatino, the Argentine, leading the United States in this international tournament, took over after Greg Berhalter's terrific Copa America performance. Good sarcasm, because it was nowhere near fabulous. He got fired. They hired Pochettino. He was off to a shaky start, getting knocked out of the Nations League against Panama, losing the Gold Cup against Mexico. Leading up to the World Cup, they played a tough friendlies against Belgium, Portugal, Germany, and fans were even doubting about what this U.S. team can do at the biggest stage. Well, a 4-1 win over Paraguay really put those critics to bed. And right now, with an early lead against Australia, things seem to be good so far for the United States, who never failed to put on a show in these international tournaments. Every 4 years, you see the U.S. making headlines for having such great tournament. The sport has been growing, and it's literally not 1994 anymore. Here's Robinson attacking this left-hand side. Robinson looks to get to the byline, sends a cross. It's not a great one, and the ball exits, and I believe oh, we're back. Did we lose connection? Did we lose connection? We might have lost connection. Pardon me. Oh, we're back. We're back. 29 minutes. In this United States against Australia game. The first of 4 games today. Today, after this game, we'll see Scotland and Morocco. We're going to play. Then at 5:30, Brazil and Haiti. And then to end at 8 o'clock, Turkey and Paraguay will face off. 2 games tomorrow early on at 10 a.m. Netherlands and Sweden. That should be the game of the day, pretty much. Good games, good games. This one being the headliner for today. McKennie attacking on the left-hand side now, switching from the right side. Place it back to the Jedi. Robinson. Richards on it. Goes out wide to Dest. And Freeman attacking. Adams on the ball. All the way back to Richards. Richards at midfield. The fans chanting USA, USA, making their presence felt in this game in Seattle. Long ball over. Sutar tried to play forward for Italiano, and then Italiano ended up heading it out for a corner kick. He hopes that doesn't hurt his team. Second corner kick here for the United States. And here comes Tillman. He's been in charge of the corner kicks in this tournament. We'll send one to the heart of the box right now. Here's Tillman's cross. It's an in-swinger for Richards. Once again, it's wide open in the box, but just can't hit it. Throw in for the U.S. Freeman to play it. He's got 5 seconds. Here's Richards on the ball. Richards, who, throughout this tournament has had probably like 4 free headers inside of the box off corner kicks, hasn't been able to score one. Nearly scored against Paraguay. And right here, he just had one. A good chance. And unfortunately, he couldn't head home. Ream. Out to Tillman. Tillman. Playing it for Balogun. Now Tillman, who goes down. That's a foul. And another yellow card is shown. This time to Circati. Second Socceroo that's booked, along with Boss, who's booked for slapping McKenny in the face. Oh, whoa. If the referee sees this, studs up near the knee of Tillman, the decision can be different. The studs are up. I don't know if VAR would like to take a look. If Messi's wasn't a red, this isn't a red. And it's not a red. Here's Robinson sending this ball in the box. That was a foul as Richards stripped the Socceroo defender. It was O'Neal. And the referee calls it. Alex Morgan. The legendary Alex Morgan is watching this game from Seattle. For a long time, Alex Morgan was the face of the United States soccer. Winning back-to-back World Cups, 2014, 2019, with the U.S. women's national team. One of the greatest female soccer players for the U.S. One of many great players. The U.S. will look to have a much better World Cup next year than the Women's World Cup because they couldn't do it a couple years ago in 23. Here's Dest. Dest goes down. Referee says foul. They were fighting hard for the ball around midfield. And a foul there from O'Neal? No. It was Olga Exler. Once again, getting in the mix. Fouling a player. And here's Ream. Out wide to Robinson. Ream on the ball. Played it over to Adams. Adams going to open it out wide. Instead, he keeps it in the middle lane with Chris Richards. Back to Adams. Freeman. Dest. And Dest gets around the Australian defender Boss really well. And he knows he wants to charge Adam because he's already booked. And Boss can't foul him. Here's Ream. They switch it over now to the left-hand side. Balogun on it. Balogun attacks. Balogun in the corner. He has to slow down. Plays it backwards with Robinson. Tillman. And back to Ream. Australia with the same game plan as they had with Turkey. So they're losing in this game. Out wide with Tillman. Tillman, here's the ball. Balogun, who brings it down, stays with it. Does 2 spins with the ball. Now Robinson trying to get to it, and a nice sliding tackle there from Sutar. Hits it out for a throw-in. Ream on it. Tillman chips it over, looking for McKenny. It's cleared out only as far as Robinson. Now McKenny. And again, Mr. Kati got there before him. Robinson. Pepe wants the ball in the box. Ream with Richards. Richards slows down, plays it back with Ream. Here's Robinson on the left-hand side. And here's a good chance for the U.S. just outside of the box with Malik Tillman, who just slips. And then wins or forces a throw in blocking the clearance, and the fans applaud. The U.S. with the same page as last game, just putting constant pressure, making life difficult for Australia. Though they don't have 3 goals as they did a week ago in the first half, their pressure is just relentless, forcing turnover after turnover. Australia, well, defending themselves like they did against Turkey. They're a really difficult team to attack. So they got 5 in the back, 4 midfielders, and here comes the U.S. able to break that defensive block with Balogun. Albine out to Dest, edge of the box, sends this cross in. The header is a defensive one. The ball bouncing inside of the box. Australia unable to clear it, and they just hit it out for a throw-in. Håkan Engstler didn't know what to do with the ball. He let it bounce multiple times in front of the box, and with the pressure coming from Sergiño Dest, he just hit it out for a throw-in. Here's Boss. Bring it back. Good pressure there from Balogun. And forces another Australian turnover, and a heavy collision from... There's a heavy collision there from Freeman and a player from Australia. It was a head-to-head collision, and both players need medical attention. Referee does a great job at spotting it and calling the game dead, so medical assistants can come in and check both players. Again, though, I've watched multiple World Cups, and this would be my fourth one, pretty much. Yeah. I was born in 05. I didn't watch 06. Don't remember anything from 06. I was too young to even remember South Africa. My first one was Brazil, the one that I remember really well. And then Russia, obviously Qatar, now 2026. And really, as injuries go up, yesterday's Ismail Koné's injury was one that really shook me. I mean, really sad. I believe Cade Cunningham is in the building, supporting the U.S. as a basketball player, especially in high school. So Monteverdi Prep with the famous Caden M. They are really checking Freeman and that concussion protocol. Referee also checking with the medical assistants from the U.S. And I'm not sure if the Australian player has a small cut. But the Australian player is ready to go. Medical assistance is still with Freeman. Head injuries, they really have to be checked, and I'm not sure if they're gonna have to go out if Adams and Håkan Engstler, who was the other player that was hurt, have to exit the field for at least a minute. And I think there is an exception on head injuries. Well, Dest will play back with Richards, and the U.S. will regain possession after that head injury. Richards on the ball. Plays it all the way back with Freese, who plays it really well with Freeman. Nearly gets studs to his shin. Håkan Engstler got there really fast. Here's Richards. Plays it with Tim Ream. And Ream over to Robinson. Robinson with Tillman. And Tillman, long ball to Des. Brings it down perfectly. Here's Des. Plays it to the run of McKennie, who's back on the right side. McKennie goes backwards. McKennie plays it through. It's cleared by Australia. Only as far as McKennie, who's still inside of the box. McKennie, does he have a shot? He's going to play it back. Adams. Freeman. Dest. Tillman wants it. He will get it. He leaves it over to Dest. Inside of the box. Going to the byline. And it's taken away by Australia, though. Tillman does a fabulous job to win it back. He's been held on to. Referee doesn't call a foul, and he's going to have to call it now, and he does. A clear foul from Burgess, who was holding on to Malik Tillman. U.S. lose the ball, and then they're quick to win it back. And right there, Malik Tillman does a fabulous job on getting his body in front of Burgess. Or pardon me, I believe it was Håkan Engstler. Well, here's the free kick. Good chance for a good cross. He's going to play it backwards over to Deska. He fired. It's deflected. It's loose inside of the box, and it's in. It's a goal for the U.S. It's Freeman. But it won't count. It won't count. The flag goes up. I want to see the replay. But as the ball was loose in the box, even my words went out of the box. And yeah, that's an offside. As Des fired that shot. Whoa. Hold up. The one that scores is not offside. Freeman is the one that scored, and he's not offside. I want to see that replay again because Freeman is the one that scores, and he was not offside. We're going to see. As Des gets it, Freeman, he's onside. Freeman is onside, but I don't know if Balogun is involved with the goalkeeper. Let's see. If Balogun gets in the way of the goalkeeper, it may be offside, but Freeman, the one that scores, he's onside. And that's what they're probably trying to decide upstairs on VAR. And I don't know if Sawyer wants to go over and take a look. He signals. What is he telling us? It's a goal for the United States! The referee and VAR took a look at it, and Freeman was onside, and the U.S. has a second on Australia. 2-0 USA. Just like a week ago at the end of the half, they get another goal. And it's Alex Freeman, the 21-year-old from Villarreal, that scores the second on a free kick that Adams played back to Des, who took a touch, then shot the ball, was deflected by the Australian bodies, and Freeman was the first one to react. He was onside, and it's 2-0 United States. Man, as someone that lives in LA, the name Freeman is It's historic, it's legendary, and a Freeman has just scored for the United States in this tournament. The U.S. looking to add another one to their lead. And that goal is given in the 43rd minute. Only 7 minutes of stoppage time has been given by the fourth official, Katia Itzel. Even though we had the water break, we had the head collision, we had the VAR review for the goal, but it doesn't matter. The U.S. has enough time to add a third. And here comes Tillman. Does he draw the corner kick? He does. Two nothing to score here in Seattle. And Tillman puts the ball down. Robinson, an option to play short. They're complaining that Italiano is too close. So Malik will he's probably gonna send this one into the box, and he is. And here's Tillman's cross. Back post looking for Richards, and there's a foul. Called by the referee as Richards once again drops another Australian player, and we are getting the VAR look, and yeah, a clear onside on Alex Freeman. Foul. Ball for Australia. And here's Burgess, who sends this one forward. Richards unable to hit it. And here comes Australia. And now a foul. A collision, but it's actually on the Australian player, Boss. Because Ream got to the ball first. Oh, no, it's actually a handball. It's a handball. And my buddy Cafecito is not happy that was called a handball. What else do you want to say, bud? As you hear him on the stream, he's livid. He is really livid that was given as a handball. But it was a clear one, buddy. It was a clear handball. The United States leading this game 2-0. We've already played 4 minutes of the 7. Well, we got 3 left. Freeman cuts it around 1. The Australian player grabbing Freeman's shorts, trying to stop him. Here's Adams. Plays it over to Richards. Ream. Adams. Adams on it. Adams looking for options. Right now the U.S. is going to try to finish the half, moving the ball from one side to another as they have the lead, but Australia's starting to put a little bit of pressure. Here's Boss trying to pressure Tillman, and I believe Tillman just earned a goal kick as Boss was the one that got to the ball and tapped it out. And Freeze plays it long. Looking over for Pepe, who has been non-existent in today's game. Out of every player, Pepe has really not existed. Here's Circati. He placed it over, looking for Teray. Ream first one. Here's Adams to Balogun, who gets hit on the back of his head. The referee will now stop the game because the ball went out of play. Balogun just grabbing the back of his head after Sutar might have hit him with his wrist. Less than a minute. US a 2-0 lead over Australia. Australia quickly losing the ball. And here's Pepe on the ball. Pepe over to Adams. And here comes the US on the counter. And they try to play forward, but it was blocked. And it's falling to Freeman. Freeman attacking this right-hand side. And Freeman is inside of the box. Plays it back to Des. Des fires it. Beach makes a save. A great play from Freeman. A fabulous run. He is smart to slow down as well. Play to Des, and Des just gets it on his left foot. Even shoots it in between the legs of a defender. But Beach able to make that save. Australia looking for one last chance with Boss. Boss enters the box, looking to get to the byline, and that is well defended. And it goes out for a goal kick. And Boss not happy with Freeman as Freeman taunts him. And it ends this first half a little bit heated, but Freeman has every right to speak his emotions out loud after forcing Boss to not get a cross in and to even go out of bounds. What a first half for the United States. What a first half for Freeman, who right now is the best player on the field with an 8 out of 10 rating on FootMob. And the first half comes to an end. We're going to take a break and we'll be back in 15 minutes. We're back for the beginning of the second half, and we're just looking into the interesting facts about this game, which there's quite a lot. Alex Freeman has become the first player in World Cup history to score a goal. But hold on, I know you guys are gonna say you're crazy because there's been multiple goals, but he becomes the first player, a son of a former Super Bowl winner, to score a goal in the World Cup. Alex Freeman's father is Antonio Freeman. He played for the Green Bay Packers, and they won the Super Bowl XXXI. Trust me, if they taught me Roman numerals at school, I would have known. But Antonio Freeman, father of Alex Freeman, is a Super Bowl winner, and he now watched his son score a goal in the most important sporting event in the whole world. I believe that. And a couple of substitutions coming for Australia. Which I actually forgot to write down the players' names. So one of the players to come in is Jason Garia. And Connor Metcalf, who scored, have come in. And then another substitution, Irankunda. So 3 substitutions. Garia, Irankunda, and Metcalf have come in for the beginning of the second half, and the countdown begins again. And the U.S. will kick this ball out of bounds. And no, it won't count, because there was pitch invasion. And there we go. Instead, the U.S. will do it again and send this on way back. And does it work? Oh my goodness, it's a throw in right by the corner. Wow, that's incredible from Freeman. Freeman hits it out of bounds, but straight to a throw in right next to the corner flag. Wow. Australia is able to work out of it. So Toure is out. Irankunda is in. He scored. He was actually the guy to score the first goal for Australia against Turkey. Fighting for the ball. Pepe, he was brought down. Referee says no foul. And here comes Australia attacking on this right-hand side. And going down with the ball is O'Neal. And it's a goal kick for the U.S. Great effort there. And there's a Metcalf playing in this stadium. I used to watch DK Metcalf with the Seahawks. And then Burgess, who was the man with the own goal, he exits the game. Who knows if it's he didn't fully recover mentally. Oh, well, the U.S. has the 2-goal advantage, 3 subs. Burgess is out. Gary is in. Villepille came out. Metcalf is hit. And Toure is out. Irankunda is in. Those are the 3 halftime substitutions that the U.S. made. Pardon me, that Australia made. Chris Richards. Out wide, Freeman. Freeman from Villarreal was with Orlando City for a good time. He's 21 years old, by the way. He debuted in 2024 with Orlando City. He had actually not scored a goal with Villarreal in the 9 games that he was able to play. The U.S. just keeps making players. They just keep developing players. They go to Europe, to good leagues, again, to good teams. You know, they're not the best teams, but they're teams that have rich history, that do compete in other tournaments. I mean, Villarreal, not so long ago, they were in the semifinals of the Champions League. That's a team that will compete really well in the local competitions that they have in Spain. Talking about top spots, you know, to win La Liga, difficult, but they're constantly, you know, top 10, top 5. You know, you see Des, who was at Barcelona for a little bit of time. Right now, he is PSV Eindhoven in Netherlands. McKennie, who's still with Juventus. Tyler Adams with Bournemouth. Tillman with Leverkusen. Robinson with Fulham. Balogun, who plays at Monaco. Pepe, who's also at PSV. I mean, right here, the only 2 MLS players are Reen and Fries. The rest of the starting lineup plays in Europe. And you can tell. Heading to 50 minutes. Garia playing it back to Beach. 22-year-old goalkeeper. Getting Matthew Ryan, who for a long time was the starting goalkeeper for this team. Now it's Beach's national team. Here's Richards. How wide it goes. United States attacking on the right-hand side. This is Des. Des looking for a shot with his left foot. Instead, he plays it back. Not a great ball. But Tillman will get to it. Tillman also let the ball go. It was nowhere near Tillman. So he let it go thinking that there was someone behind him. But no, and then he made a good hustle to get to the ball. Robinson ends up losing the ball around midfield. And here's Australia trying to get a counter going. Able to open it wide to Italiano. Italiano has it. Italiano gets around Robinson, sends the cross. It's cleared away by Adams. Pepe loses the ball. Here's Australia. They end up losing the ball too. And now here's the long ball over to Balogun. And the United States have a third. Balogun for his first of the game. No! Incredible defending from Cercati, who was on a yellow and raced all the way back to get Balogun slide and prevent a goal. Balogun lacked a little bit more of strength and decision making in this last play. Here's Tillman. The U.S. with another chance from the corner kick. Richards looking for his goal. Here's the cross. Inside of the 6 is cleared out. Still alive in the box. Australia clears it only as far as where Tillman is. And then they're able to finally settle on the ball. And Kunda turns it over. Ream on the ball, and he will slow it down. Fans will applaud as he allows his teammates to get back in their positions. McKennie. Nice ball inside of the box. Looking here for Balogun. Balogun still on it. Now exits the box and then draws a corner kick. Not happy as Cercati And the U.S. plays this corner quickly. Adams wants it. Instead, they play it over to Freeman. McKennie. For the cross, instead he plays it with Tillman. Sends the cross deflected. And another corner kick coming here for the U.S. Each again giving instructions. And here's Tillman with his right foot. Here's this cross in the box. Here's the header from Balogun. It's actually a defensive header. And then another head collision. Balogun holding on to his forehead. Cercati was holding on to the back of his head. And as Cercati gets up, we keep going. Trinity Rodman. And Russell Wilson's wife. Marshawn Lynch is also present at the game. And the fans in Seattle have just saw him on the screen and they're cheering. Legendary Marshawn Lynch, Super Bowl champion. And to this day, we still ask, why did the Seahawks not run the ball at the 1 yard line? Lynch, what a running back was he with the Seattle Seahawks. Making record after record. Just incredible stuff. As I mentioned, Russell Wilson and his wife also in the building. Russell Wilson, Super Bowl winner in 2013. And then in 2014, obviously, he threw the pick that ended that Super Bowl against the Patriots. They could have gone back-to-back. Russell Wilson, who just retired from the National Football League. Long ball looking for Des. That ball's going to get to Beach. As I said, Trinity Rodman, is there with them. She's a fabulous player. Daughter of Dennis Rodman. As mentioned, she doesn't have a good relationship with her father. The referee stops the game. There was a foul. Italiano was also down on the ground, and the referee will book Robinson for that challenge on Italiano. And Pepe was the one that ended up fouling Lecky. So here's Australia moving the ball at midfield. Good defending here from the U.S. They try to clear the ball. They ends up hitting an Australian player. Sent this ball forward, and Richards had to clean it up and hit it out for a throw-in. Good switch. This ball stayed in play, but unable to connect with his teammate. There was Lecky. Or Metcalf, pardon me. Here comes Richards. Plays it with Freeman. Richards on the ball. And the fans chanting USA, USA. And a swing and a miss there from the defender. Here's Pepe on the ball. Keeps it in play. Pepe then plays it with Robinson. Carrier, who came in, swung and missed at the ball. And here comes the U.S. attacking on the right side with Dest. Back over McKennie. Tillman chips this ball forward. And there's a goal kick. As McKennie was trying to force a corner kick, and Cercati is able to avoid touching the ball. So it's a goal kick and a foul there on Tillman. The referee says no. As Tillman got in front of Gary and then got trucked. "57 minutes, Australia coming out from their own half. As the ball bounces, here's a cross into the box, here's a header, and it's a corner kick. The Ream says it's not. Clear to hit out of Ream's body. And here's the replay. The cross from Boss on that left side. And it's a goal kick. Referee ends up switching his position and a goal kick is given. Now Leckie down on the ground. Referee tells Leckie if he doesn't get up and has to call for assistance, then he's going to have to come out of the field. And medical assistance has come into the field, so Leckie is going to step out for at least a minute unless a sub is made. As he is cramping. Here comes Bobato, Christian Bobato. To replace Leckie, who just went down with an injury. Pretty sure it's just a cramp. But to avoid being a player down, Australia is going to make a substitution, though. Leckie, I was going to say that he was crying, but no, he was just cleaning the sweat that was on his eyes. The Socceroo fans today have had nothing to cheer for. And so Bobato will come in. And to avoid being a player down, well, the substitution was the safest thing to do for the Australian national team. 60 minutes. And we're playing in Seattle, home of the Seattle Sounders. (2016 and 2019 MLS Cup champions. And then also the home of the reigning Super Bowl champions, Seattle Seahawks, who completely destroyed the Patriots. And here's this nice through ball for Balogun, who just hits off his heel and couldn't control it. And then here comes the counter, and here comes Irankunda, enters the box. Irankunda enters to the byline, tries to play it back across. Here's the shot and over the bar. Volpato, who had just come into the game, got his first chance to strike the ball, and he hit it over the bar. But what a ball from the same Volpato to the run of Irankunda. And then a player from Australia also went down inside of the box. It appeared to be Metcalf, who was brought down by Adams. Adams, who didn't see Metcalf, stepped on Metcalf. And the Australian players were asking for a penalty, which I believe shouldn't be giving as one, because he didn't see him. And it's just a miss from Volpato as we play on. I said, I mean, Adams didn't see Metcalf, so there's no way that was going to be a penalty. The fans chanting USA, USA. Richards. Here's this pass deflected. They throw in. Play forward to Balogun. Inside of the box. Balogun tries to turn around. And Australia able to get this ball out of danger as they nearly caught them sleeping. Here's this ball backwards. Here's Sotar. And then out wide it goes again. And here's Boss attacking this left-hand side. And they're forced to retreat. Here's Gedia playing with Italiano. And this ball play forward for Yankunda. It was once again an open space. And Freeze is screaming at Freeman, saying you have to cover that area. If you see Richards, it's not in his position. You at least have to come and close down that space. Yankunda is a really good player when you send that ball forward. And Freeman getting himself into trouble. Richards cleaning it up. But it's turned over. Yankunda inside of the box. Australia wants to pull one back. Here's a shot and Freeze makes a save. U.S. right now in some shaky moments defensively. And here comes Tillman. He is brought down. Referee says no foul. And Australia back on the ball. And another long one. Looking for Irankunda. Freezes off his line. Irankunda went down. Looking for a foul. That was not given. Here's Freeman. And they switch it over looking for Balogun. Balogun keeps the ball in play. They won't be able to get it back as it's hit out by an Australian player, and so he throw in. Richards did a fabulous job of using his body to hit it and Kunda down to the ground. Oh man, what a substitution Irankunda has been for Australia, because though he hasn't touched the ball much, you send a long ball forward and there's Irankunda. Ream. Richards. Richards on the ball. Best. Here's Adams. Richards on the ball. Ream now on it. Back to Richards. It's a 2-0 U.S. lead. Ream. Play back with Freeze. And Freeze to Gedia, who heads it back over to Robinson. And here's Adams on the ball. Slows down, plays it with Tillman. Adams not happy after he was pushed. Richards over with Des. And now Freeman on the ball. Turns and plays it back with Richards. Adams. U.S. right now controlling the ball. Good possession from the U.S. Tillman. Richards. Ream. And here's a long ball looking for Robinson. And it's going to go out of play. It was looking really nice until it curled out. And then it went out of play, and then that's the end of the third quarter. The end of the third quarter, and obviously, again, the fans booing this hydration break on a nice sunny day in Seattle. It's the United States leading the national team of Australia 2-0. The Socceroos have had no answer, though. They've improved in this second half, attacking a little bit more, looking for Irankunda, who came on at the beginning of the second half, and it's just long balls to Irankunda. It's looking really good. You know, one of them might fall for him. One of them is going to work. But as of now, the U.S. still has the lead. A known goal from Burgess, who also came out at halftime, put them ahead 1-0. And then at the very end of the first half, a shot from Des outside of the box was blocked. And then as it hung in the air, Freeman got his head to it and scored the second for the United States. As of now, they put music in the stadium and the fans are singing to it. Now having a good time. And the fans at the Fan Fest all across the United States, Kansas City, Seattle, Farmers Market in Los Angeles, have been enjoying this game on massive television screens and just enjoying the game with people around them. Looking at Google, I really love Google's design. If you can go on it, it shows all 3 USA logos. And of course, living a World Cup dream in Seattle. As I've mentioned, it's not 1994 anymore. It's 2026. But if you want to say it, it's 1994 all over again, but a lot better. This is not a USA team that's new to the sport. This is not a USA team that doesn't know how to play the sport. It's a USA team that knows how to play it, that is starting to breathe this sport. And well, that is just a beautiful, beautiful scene. You know, it's not 1994. This team is a lot better than it was in 1994. And Pochettino will make his first substitution. I believe that it's Berhalter who will come in. Berhalter, the player from the Vancouver Whitecaps, the main guy leading that Vancouver team to the MLS Cup last year, losing to Inter Miami, unfortunately. Long ball over. Was hit out of play. Pochettino giving instructions to Berhalter, the son of Greg. So Berhalter is still alive in the U.S. in another international tournament. Here's this ball played through. Richards couldn't find Adams. The Socceroos on the ball. And they switch it over with Italiano. Gary on it. Sultan. Italiano. Dancing with the ball. And Metcalf trying to switch it over. Ends up hitting Des on the side of the foot. But it worked out because it fell to Adams. And then Des backwards passes A dangerous one. The U.S. turns it over. And here's Metcalf, and Jedi Robinson gets to the ball and then trucks his next opponent. Fabulous stuff for the U.S. Ream, and then Ream gets struck. Robinson hits it in the air, and the referee will stop the game because they got a little bit heated. And Ream got trucked. A blindside block on Tim Ream. And Kunda had every intention to do that. And the fans chanting USA, USA in Seattle. You know, these Seattle fans in this stadium, they are really passionate. And the substitution here is Ricardo Pepi, who didn't do much in today's game. He leaves not happy, maybe because of his performance. And Berhalter has entered the game. Freeze. Ream. Robinson. So Sebastian, the son of Greg, in the game. And look at Balogun. He was being held on to. And the referee rightfully calls the foul. Oh, Balogun has this crazy story because he was accidentally born in the United States as his family was on vacation here in the U.S. They did not allow his mom to fly back to England because of her advanced pregnancy. Well, she stayed here for a couple more weeks. Balogun was born. They ended up staying for a good amount of time, a couple of months, you know, as she fully recovered to go back to England. Well, obviously grew up in England all his life, but being American helped him. Being on the national team, Berhalter trying to open the ball wide. Unfortunately, he couldn't do so. That little luck, that, you know, birthright for Balogun helped him become the striker for the United States national team and the key piece that they were missing. Here's Australia with Metcalf. Metcalf. Now Italiano. Volpato on it. Volpato. Sends this cross. It's cleared by the U.S. And here's Adams. Tillman. Balogun. Asking for a handball. Here's Geria with the cross. Richards clears with his head. And Robinson with his head as well sends it forward. "76 minutes. And the fans once again with the USA chant. And that USA chant is roaring across the stadium. And Australia looking to pull one back. Here's Volpato, sends this cross. Cleared by Richards. Still inside of the box with it in Kunda. And they hit it out. And here's the throw in as Australia. We haven't seen this from them all. We didn't see it from them in the first game. They are forcing the U.S. back and attacking. We're asking for a handball in which the ball clearly hit the hand of Berhalter, but the referee says it's a natural position because he was pushing in Kunda. Axler exits the game, and Irvine is in, number 22. Now a player from Australia goes down. It's Volpato. And Robinson, who's already been booked. Of course, Volpato is Well, Potter knows that Robinson is on a yellow. And he was obviously looking for Robinson to do something. That's nothing. That's nothing. Well, Pato was just trying to sell a foul because he knew Robinson was booked, so might as well get him off. Here's a throw in for Australia. The U.S. have really lacked offensive production into today's game. Well, in the second half, they had it in the first. In the second, they've really lacked their offensive production. Throw in for the Socceroos, and they're going to play this one short. Everyone's inside of the box. Here's the cross from Circati, and the ball is deflected out to a corner kick. And here comes Pato. And with his left foot, he's going to send this ball in the box. It's an in-swinger. And it's a defensive header. And then a shot from outside the box. But a foul had been called before the shot from Boss. Freeman was the player that went down. And then here's the substitutions that are being made. Dest is coming out, so the U.S. with a couple of subs. Dest exits. And then something happened here. Robinson took more than his, what is it, 10 to 15 seconds to exit the pitch. And so, since Robinson took his sweet time, the U.S. has to play with 10. So now, Trusty cannot enter the game, has to wait a minute because Robinson didn't come out in time. Well, never mind. Due to the rule, if you're making multiple substitutions, it's the last player that has to exit. So if the last player doesn't exit in time, then both players, I guess, cannot enter. It's kind of weird. But the clock begins after the second substitution has been shown, and that's why the referee changed his mind, and the U.S. actually have 11 players on the field. Well, Robinson and Dest came out in time. And Halter has been really disappointing so far. Not been able to control much the ball and hope the team attack. But right now, the U.S. in defensive mode. With a 2-0 lead on Australia. Italiano attacking. Playing it back. Italiano now. And here's this cross looking for Ancunda. And he didn't jump. He'd rather put his body on another defender than to jump for that cross. He's not a tall player, but at least make that effort. He just quickly went to body Richards. Oh, Australia has to be a lot better when attacking if they want to have a chance. There's the Socceroos having a good time in the stadium. Throw in for them at midfield. There's a lot of sections across the stadium that are yellow, full of Australian fans. Nice backheel passing. Here's this crossback post. It's cleared. Here's a chance for Australia to pull one back inside of the box. Irankunda goes down. This ball still loose. And Australia still has it. Here's Volpato. Out wide. Another cross. It's cleared by Ream. Freeman to safety. But Australia wins it back. And here's Irvine. Out wide, and Irvine looking to get to the ball. And here's this cross blocked by Richards. And they were asking for a penalty on Irankunda. But I don't see nothing there. Irankunda has now been trying to draw a penalty, draw a foul inside of the box. Here's the cross from the corner kick. It goes to the other side. Here's a cross from Italiano back post. It has to be an offensive foul. The ball loose in the box. The shot is blocked. It cleared. And then now the referee calls the foul. Freeze is angry because it was a clear push in the back of Richards. Way before the shots were even taken. But the first cross doesn't get to any head. It's picked up by Italiano, who then sends a cross back post. And there was a push on Berhalter. And the foul that they call, the referee calls, is one on Richards. Let's just keep playing. Eventually, the foul was called. Popovic not happy that the U.S. took their sweet time on this free kick. And here comes the U.S. attacking, looking to seal the deal in the 85th minute. Ball back with Richards. He goes all the way back with Freeze. With pressure from Irankunda. And Freeze sends it to the middle of the field. Headers won there by the U.S. players. Man, they keep holding. Look at that. That has to be a foul. That has to be a foul. They're holding on Balogun. And the referee calls it the other way. I mean, Sotar this whole entire time has been grabbing Balogun by the neck, pulling him by the shirt. And on this previous play, he grabbed him by the chest and then tried to pull him down. Here's this ball. Up in the air. Here's the header. Richards clears. Volpato back. Geria. Over to Volpato. He can open it out wide to the right side with Italiano. Volpato still going. Plays it to Irvine. Irvine looking for Volpato. The U.S. will win it back. Here's the cross. Back post. Richards clears. Another chance, and the shot goes wide. Circati there with the shot attempt. "87 minutes. That's a foul. And now they're getting on Sotar because this keeps going between Balogun and Sotar. And the American players are separating these two players. Though the foul wasn't on Balogun, it was on another player. The Sotar and Balogun beef continue. And something else has just happened outside of the picture with Trusty, not Balogun, because the fans quickly reacted to something different that we didn't see. There's a yellow card, 3 yellow cards. Sotar is booked. Balogun is booked, and I believe Italiano is also booked. And on this last play, because of the heated exchange that they've been having, Balogun was going to play that ball in the air. He's already jumping when Sotar lowers his body, puts his shoulder out, and when Balogun lands on Sotar, he grabs Sotar from the neck, and then they start holding on to each other, and that's why the referee had to go separate these players. That's a foul. It'll be a ball for the United States. Irankunda, not happy as the game gets a little bit heated. The foul was on Scally. Free kick for the United States. A goal from the U.S. would be really good because right now it's really heated. They play it out wide. Trusty's cross blocked for a corner kick. The U.S. has been putting ice on this game in the past 5 to 10 minutes. And here's Tillman. Berhalter places short with Tillman. And Tillman to cover. That's a throw-in. Might as well take advantage. Might as well just take advantage of the corner kick. Score a third. Well, throwing for Australia. It's played. They lose it quickly. 6 minutes of stoppage time. 6 minutes, and Australia need a fast goal if they want to have at least a chance to tie it. And here's a chance for Australia. Here's this crossback post. It goes out of play. And Freeze not happy because the assistant referee took a while to even indicate that the ball went out of play. Now I get a view of Italiano's yellow card because maybe Trusty was chirping at him. Italiano saw the ball and then Trusty saw it. Trusty went to pick up the ball and then Italiano came and pushed him. Throw in for Australia. And it's played back to Beach. Tim Bream went to the ground and then complained to the assistant as something had happened with him. Here's Garia. Freeman. Scally and Freeman both double teaming a player to win the ball back, and here's Balogun on it. He plays it over to Trusty. Here's this ball for Balogun. He couldn't find him, and here's Balogun still on the ball. A chance for the U.S. Berhalter. Balogun couldn't connect with Berhalter. Australia unable to stay with the ball. Now here's Irankunda. Irankunda brought down by Richards. That's going to be a yellow. And that's a foul as Irankunda chipped it over Richardson. Really, it's Iracunda going down and looking for the contact. And now, if this game has had about everything, the referee has gone down to the ground. The referee has gone down. Can you believe it? The German referee is injured. The assistant referee is there to help him. And you know what this could mean? If the referee cannot go on, obviously more time will be added. But the Mexican referee, Katia Itzel, will come in and replace the referee. And Katia Itzel is running over to get the referee the cucumber or the pickle juice. He also gets water, so if it's a cramp, he's probably gonna go on. If not, Katia Itzel may take over. The referee is now stretching. This is the... Wow. This is barely match day 2. And now he looks to be fine, and Pochettino will also make a substitution. And the referee appears to be well and gets a massive cheer from the Seattle fans. And here's this free kick. About every Australian player was offside. Tillman clears, and we'll see how much they put. Long ball over. Cleared out. Here's another cross. It will go out of play. And a goal kick. Fans applaud. And here comes Reyna and Wright. Balogun that today forced a known goal exits the game. Haji Wright will come in his position. And McKennie also exits. And Giovanni Reyna has come in. And the U.S. have used all their 5 substitutes. Well, we've reached the 6 minutes of stoppage time, but with the referee's injury, I don't know if we're going to have more. Irancunda's cross. Cleared out by the U.S. Haji Wright. And now here comes Tillman. And Tillman to Wright, who's offside, but we play on. Here's Wright. Wright cuts it back. Wright continues. He fires a block, and now the flag goes up because Tillman took an extra second to get that pass. And here's this ball in the air. Ream clears this header to Irvine. Irvine back into the mix. And the ball goes out of play. It's going to be a goal kick, and the fans applaud in the stadium. This game is about to end. And The fans just keep chanting USA, USA. I'm not seeing what's happening. Right with the header. We keep on playing. Reina hits it in the air. Looking for Trusty. He brings it down perfectly. Here's the cross back post for Haji Wright. It's clear, and then Haji Wright goes down. And now this game is over. And the United States have completed their first goal. They've advanced to the next round, to the round of 32. They win 2-0 today in Seattle. They reach 6 points and they put themselves in the next round. What a game for the U.S. What a first half for the U.S. And they defeat Australia 2-0 in today's game of the day. Well, thank you for tuning in. Pleasure to be here. Always fun calling U.S. games. And we'll be back maybe tomorrow or I don't know when, but I'll see you guys later. I'll see you guys later. Thank you for tuning in.